separated on my palette just so that I have that very clearly defined. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of white. I'm gonna put it over here into this color, and then I'm also going to just have a little area of white. You use a lot of white in painting because oftentimes you have to lighten colors. And then I'm also gonna take a little bit of this black, and I'm gonna put this on the far color over here just so that we have a light color, a medium color, and a dark color. It just kind of organizes it visually. That might be a little bit too much black, but we'll make it work. And then I'll put a little more black over here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna get a little orange too, because sometimes you can actually use orange to darken blue. Whenever you're working with colors, you can always take a complementary color and in small amounts put, say you want to make a dark red, you can take green and put a little green in the red and it'll make it a little bit darker. You don't necessarily have to use black. Put a little orange there. Okay. And just for convenience's sake, I'll show you how to do it on the palette here. So first I'm gonna mix the white and the blue to create a lighter blue. And this is what we call a tint. Whenever we add white to a color, we call that color a tint. Now on the other hand, you have the color that has black in it. I'm gonna scoop it out here and just add a little bit less black so that it's not so dark. I'm creating a very deep navy here. And whenever we add black to a color, it's called a shade. I know in casual speak, we tend to just call everything a shade when it's like a color that's the same but like a different tone. But in proper art speak, this is a shade if it has black, and then if it has white, it is called a tint. And then that's just the regular color there.
I like my festive.
Nice job,
I like
Quinn.
my festive.
That looks great, Quinn.
Good.
Yeah.
Good job.
And then I'm gonna mix this orange up here. It might have a little bit too much red, so I'm gonna put a little more yellow in it. When you're mixing colors, it's important to make sure you get the right tone, because this is still orange, but it's a very red orange. So I want to get it as close to a regular orange as possible. You can experiment with different shades of colors and how they mix together, because that can create some very interesting combinations. And then I'll take a little bit of blue like that and mix them together. If you use complementary colors in equal parts, they tend to create a brown.
And maybe just really quickly, Mrs. Powell, if you could review for them what complementary colors are.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know.
A complementary color is a color that's directly opposite of another color on the color wheel. So
Mhm.
where's the color wheel? Right over here. So the reason why I'm mixing orange with blue is because orange is directly across from it. And that's what makes it complementary. Complementary basically just means that when they're next to each other, they're gonna look good together, but then they're also going to have enough contrast to where they pop, and you can really see each color. You know, like Frosted Flakes and Tony the Tiger, that box, he's orange, you know, sees tiger, but then they have the blue background so that you really see Tony pop out better.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course, red and green are Christmas colors, and we see those all over the place, and they just look very pretty together.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is yellow and purple. And I think a lot of sports teams actually use purple and yellow as a color. So of course, if you add a little bit of yellow to purple, it would darken the purple. You can do that with any complementary color combination. So here it's still kind of green, that means we need more blue. Okay, and you see how that also creates a dark blue, but it has a slightly greenish tint to it.
And basically, in order to create contrast and different shades, what you're gonna do is just kind of look at these paintings for inspiration, and then you're gonna mix your own colors. I think whenever you're painting, it helps to kind of have some colors pre-prepared, and then you can start using them, and then you can make more depending on what you're gonna be doing. And then just to illustrate, we can see here, this blue has a lot of white in it, so it's a very strong tint. And over here, the blue has a lot of black in it, so it creates a nice shade, and then we see that contrast. Just make sure that when you're painting, that you don't put a color next to another color that's too close to it. If you say are gonna make like a shadow in the face like that, you probably don't wanna make the face a color that's just a few tones lighter, because then we won't be able to see it very well. He kinda used quite a light blue there, so that we could really see the way he chiseled out that cheekbone. But that's basically it. It's very calming and soothing, and I think using the blue is gonna be like super zen too. What we can do now is, if you still wanna come up with an idea, you can sketch it in your sketchbook. And then if you already have an idea, you can go ahead and just start drawing on the paper here. So we'll just take some time now to sketch out our idea. If you get to painting today, then great. If not, you can do it later.